the vast silence of the Nevada desert, some secrets are better left undisturbed by human hands. But in 2014, one man discovered something that shouldn't exist, and then he suddenly vanished forever. His name was Kenny Veach, an experienced hiker who treated the harsh Mojave Desert like his backyard. In November of that year, the desert finally claimed him after a truly unsettling encounter, like a ghost story told in the digital age. It began with a single, unassuming comment. Kenny claimed to have found a hidden cave with properties that defied every law of nature. He described an opening shaped like a perfect letter M, tucked away in the desolate wilderness. What would you do if the ground beneath your feet started to hum with a heavy vibration? Kenny felt a strange, pulsing energy that shook his entire body as he approached the dark entrance. The closer he got to the M cave, the more his internal organs seemed to vibrate with fear. Some believe this was infrasound, a low-frequency noise often associated with secret military technology. Others whisper about a deep, underground military base hidden beneath the shifting sands of Nevada. The location sits near the restricted boundaries of Nellis Air Force Base, a place of legends. Rumors of the tall whites, an advanced alien race, have long haunted this specific desert region. Could Kenny have stumbled upon a secret entrance to something far more sinister than a simple cave? How does a man who knows the desert like the back of his hand simply disappear? He was no amateur. He possessed the endurance of a man like rock legend. Let me kill mister. Yet, after returning to find the M cave one last time, Kenny Veach was never seen again. His disappearance remains one of the internet's most enduring mysteries, fueling endless theories and speculation. To understand why he never came back, we have to look at the place he called home. The Mojave Desert isn't just a stretch of sand. It is a titan of the natural world, known to many as the High Desert. This region hides ancient mysteries beneath its sun-bleached surface, spanning nearly 48,000 square miles. This landscape is a vast and unforgiving furnace of scorched earth. It holds the grim reputation of being the hottest and driest place in all of North America. While the neon lights of Las Vegas sparkle on its periphery, the desert silence remains absolute. From the edge of San Bernardino, the wilderness stretches toward a horizon that feels entirely alien. Lancaster marks another border where civilization ends and the brutal reality of the Mojave begins. Imagine 134 degrees of heat pressing down on you like a physical weight against your skin. This record temperature, equivalent to 58 degrees Celsius, makes Death Valley a truly lethal environment. Walking through these dunes feels like navigating the surface of a different planet, devoid of life. The Mojave is a furnace the size of a small country, capable of consuming the unwary. Some believe the shifting sands produce infrasound, a low frequency that triggers an instinctive sense of dread. Nearby, the restricted airspace of Nellis Air Force Base adds a layer of military secrecy to the dunes. Rumors whisper of deep underground military bases, or DUMBs, hidden far beneath the cracked, dry soil. Tales of the tall whites suggest that we might not be the only ones watching these horizons. How can a place so hauntingly beautiful also be one of the deadliest environments on Earth? This extreme dryness saps the moisture from your body before you even realize the danger. The silence of the high desert is heavy, pressing down on those who dare to wander alone. Somewhere in this vast expanse, the elusive M cave remains hidden from those who seek its dark mouth. The desert's rugged spirit mirrors the heavy, distorted energy found in the lore of Lemmy. Every rock and canyon in this wasteland seems to guard a secret that refuses to be told. To survive here, one must respect the power of a landscape that shows no mercy to anyone. But Kenny Veach wasn't your average tourist. He was a seasoned veteran of this desolate wasteland. To conquer a landscape like this, you need more than gear. You need a deep, driving obsession. Most people stay on the marked trails, but Kenny Veach always chose to walk into the unknown. At 47 years old, Kenny was not just a hobbyist, but a master of the unforgiving desert. He had spent many years wandering through the vast, silent stretches of the Mojave and Great Basin. For Kenny, the desert was not a place to fear, but a second home he knew intimately. He was an avid and highly experienced hiker who thrived in conditions that would break most people. This seasoned explorer treated the sprawling Nevada wilderness like it was his own private, sun-scorched backyard. What drives a person to test themselves against the void of such a hostile and empty environment? Kenny frequently conducted solo hikes that pushed the limits of human endurance across the jagged landscape. These were not simple afternoon walks, but multi-day treks deep into the heart of the desert silence. carrying only what he could fit on his back. He would disappear for days into the arid heat. He preferred the solitude of the desert night, camping alone under a canopy of cold, distant stars. His years of experience gave him a confidence that bordered on a dangerous sense of invincibility. To the casual observer, his solo journeys into the Great Basin seemed like a flirtation with disaster. Yet, for Kenny Veach, these long excursions were the only way to truly feel alive and free. He possessed a rare set of skills, honed over decades of navigating the most treacherous terrain imaginable. His experience enough, when the environment turned suddenly hostile and the shadows began to lengthen, he knew the Mojave's secrets better than anyone. Yet the desert always keeps a few hidden away. His physical conditioning and mental toughness made him a titan among even the most seasoned desert hikers. He sought out the places where the maps went blank and the cell service vanished into nothing. Every solo trek was a calculated risk, a personal challenge against the forces of the natural world. Friends and family knew him as a man who was most at peace when he was alone. He was the kind of man who would walk for miles just to see what lay beyond. But even for an expert like Kenny, one discovery near the M Cave would change everything forever. In June 2014, a simple online comment sparked one of the internet's most enduring desert mysteries. The enigma began on a YouTube video titled "Son of an Area 51 Technician with Startling Claims." Using the handle Lemmy Kilmister, Kenny Veach shared a story that sounded more like science fiction. He spoke of a strange discovery made while exploring the rugged terrain near Nellis Air Force Base. This area is notorious for restricted zones and whispers of secret government projects hidden underground amidst the jagged rocks and heat. Kenny claimed he found a cave with a perfect shape. It wasn't a jagged opening, but a cave entrance shaped like a massive, perfect capital M. Most hikers would have walked inside, but Kenny felt something that stopped him dead in his tracks. As he stepped toward the M cave, a strange sensation began to ripple through his entire body. The closer he moved, the more intense the vibrating sensation became, echoing deep within his bones. It was as if the Mojave Desert itself was physically pushing him away from the dark opening. He described a frequency so powerful it made his chest tighten and his vision start to blur. Why would a natural stone formation vibrate with such terrifying, mechanical intensity near a military base? Was it a rare geological phenomenon, or evidence of a massive deep underground military base nearby? Some believe he stumbled upon a source of infrasound, a low-frequency noise used to deter visitors. Others whisper about the Tall Whites, a legendary alien race said to inhabit these Nevada valleys. Even a seasoned explorer like Kenny, who feared nothing, was forced to turn back in terror. Despite the danger, he only ever uploaded 5 videos to his YouTube channel before vanishing. His words painted a picture of a place where the physical laws of nature seemed to break. He didn't just see the M Cave that day. He felt its power vibrating through his soul. As Kenny Veach drew closer to the M Cave, an unsettling sensation began to take hold. His entire body started to vibrate, a physical response that defied any logical explanation. This wasn't just fear. It was a rhythmic resonance pulsing deep within his very bones. In the vast silence of the Mojave Desert, such a powerful reaction felt otherworldly and wrong. Some speculate that the proximity to Nellis Air Force Base might hold the hidden answer. Could secret technology or a deep underground military base, known as a DUMB, be responsible? This phenomenon, often called infrasound, can trigger intense feelings of dread and physical illness. Low-frequency waves, though silent to our ears, can cause the human body to tremble uncontrollably. Kenny described the feeling as getting stronger with every step he took toward the opening. It was as if the ground itself was rejecting his presence near the mysterious Legends of the Tall Whites, an alleged extraterrestrial race, haunt the fringes of this desert. Some believe these beings utilize advanced energy that affects the human nervous system in bizarre ways. Even the legendary Lemmy Kilmister is sometimes cited in the strange, local lore of this region. The high-stress environment of the desert can also push the human mind toward its breaking point. When the body enters a state of extreme fight or flight, the senses can become dangerously distorted. Yet, Kenny was an experienced hiker, well acquainted with the brutal demands of the Mojave heat. His description of the vibration remains one of the most chilling aspects of his story. It suggests a localized energy source buried deep beneath the rugged, sun-scorched earth. Was it a geological fluke, or something intentionally hidden from the eyes of the public? Whatever the cause, the vibrations served as a final, terrifying warning for Kenny to turn back. Skeptics on the internet called his bluff, so Kenny took the bait to prove them wrong. In October 2014, Kenny returned to the Mojave Desert for a final, fateful confrontation. He wanted to silence the doubters and find that terrifying M-shaped opening once again. Strapping on his camera, he documented the entire journey in a vlog titled M-Cave Hike. The desert sun beat down as he retraced his steps through the jagged, unforgiving terrain. Every ridge and canyon looked the same, yet the landmark he sought remained hidden. How do you lose a cave that had once pulsed with such a terrifying energy? He scoured the limestone cliffs near Nellis Air Force Base, searching for that perfect M-shape. The pressure from his online audience weighed heavily on him with every step he took. Was he looking in the wrong place? Or was the place actually looking for him? It was as if the Mojave had swallowed the entrance hole, leaving no trace behind. His video captured a man growing increasingly desperate as the familiar landmarks failed to appear. Despite his experience and determination, the M-Cave remained an elusive shadow in the dust. The October 2014 hike ended not with a discovery, but with a profound sense of defeat. He navigated the same washes and slopes where he had previously felt the haunting vibration. Each frame of the vlog reveals a landscape that seems to shift and change before our eyes. Skeptics wondered if he had lost his way or if the cave never existed at all. Kenny insisted the cave was real, yet it vanished like a mirage in the desert heat. This failed expedition only deepened the mystery surrounding the strange, vibrating entrance in the earth. The more he searched, the more the desert seemed determined to hide its dark secrets. Monday, November 10th. One final hike. One final warning. Amidst the comments of fans and skeptics, one name stood out with a chilling message. A mysterious YouTube user known as Lee Kilmister posted a stern warning to never return to the cave. This ominous message felt like a red flare launched into an otherwise quiet digital sky. Some wondered if the name was a reference to rock legend Lee Kilmister from what others questioned if it was a coded warning linked to the nearby Nellis Air Force Base. Did this stranger know something about the M-Cave that Kenny had completely failed to see? Perhaps they knew of the hidden infrasound or the rumored deep underground military base nearby. There were even whispers of the tall whites, legendary beings said to inhabit these desolate lands. Kenny was not one to be easily intimidated by a faceless comment on a video. Kenny responded to the warning by asking, "What makes you say that?" But he received no reply. The silence that followed was deafening, leaving the ominous warning hanging like a thick desert fog. No further explanation ever came, leaving Kenny alone with his growing obsession for the mystery. Despite the lack of an answer, Kenny began preparing for his third tour of the area. On Monday, November 10th, 2014, he packed his gear for a final, fateful journey. This would be an overnight trip deep into the southern reaches of the Mojave Desert. He was determined to find the M-Cave again and prove the skeptics wrong once more. The desert sun began its slow descent as Kenny set out on his last adventure. He carried only a small camera and enough supplies for a single night under the stars. The silence of the Mojave greeted him, a quiet that seemed more heavy than ever before. Behind him lay the safety of civilization. Ahead lay a mystery that would soon consume him. Was it a obsession or a simple need for answers that drove him back to that place? The shadows of the desert peaks grew long, stretching across the path he chose to walk. With every step toward the M-Cave, Kenny Veach moved further away from the world he knew. As the light faded, the explorer vanished into the vast and unforgiving landscape of the Mojave. 4 days passed until the silence from the Mojave became a scream that no one could ignore. On November 14th, Kenny's girlfriend finally contacted the authorities to report him as a missing person. The explorer who set out to conquer the desert had now become its most desperate prey. Search teams quickly mobilized, sending massive helicopters to scan the jagged peaks and hidden valleys from above. Professional search parties combed the harsh terrain on foot, battling the unforgiving heat of the Mojave sun. Local volunteers joined the professionals, driven by a desperate need to find one of their own. The search area was vast, covering miles of treacherous mountain peaks and dry desert washes. They found his phone, lying abandoned in the dirt, but they never found the man himself. The device sat near the entrance of a vertical mine shaft, a breadcrumb, leading to a dead end. How do you drop your phone at the edge of a shaft and then simply vanish forever? This wasn't just any hole in the ground. It was a dark, narrow portal into the earth. Authorities lowered high-tech cameras deep into the darkness of the shaft, hoping for a sign of life. The lenses revealed only dust and jagged rock, but not a single trace of a human body. The void stared back at them, offering no answers and refusing to surrender any secrets it held. Without a body or a footprint, the desert seemed to have swallowed Kenny whole without a trace. Investigators looked for any sign of a struggle, but the ground around the mine remained perfectly still. The hunt for the M cave had led Kenny Veach into a nightmare from which he never emerged. Some wondered if the infrasound he feared had somehow disoriented him near the mouth of the shaft. Rumors swirled about a deep underground military base hidden beneath the Nellis Air Force Base nearby. By December 10th, his girlfriend left a heartbreaking comment on YouTube confirming his tragic missing person status. The online community that once challenged him now watched in stunned silence as the search went cold. The Mojave Desert is a vast graveyard that knows exactly how to hide what it chooses to keep. Day after day, the desert wind swept through the canyons, erasing any clues that might remain. Even with modern technology and seasoned trackers, the Mojave proved to be an impenetrable fortress. That lone phone remains a haunting relic of a final hike that went terribly and inexplicably wrong. People began to wonder if Kenny had deliberately left his phone as a final, cryptic message. Despite every effort by search teams, the massive effort yielded nothing but more confusion and dark theories. Every cave and crevice in the area was documented, yet the missing explorer remained a ghost. The silence that followed the search was heavier than the desert heat, leaving only lingering shadows. The mineshaft was empty, but the questions about Kenny's fate were only just beginning to surface. While the internet looked for monsters, investigators turned their gaze toward the man himself. Was his disappearance a grand conspiracy, or just a fatal case of extreme overconfidence? Walking into the Mojave Desert without a map is like sailing a ship without a rudder. Kenny Veach famously preferred his own instincts over basic navigational aids, like maps and compasses. We must ask, is it bravery to face the wilderness alone? Or is it a death wish? To understand his fate, we have to look past the myths of Nellis Air Force Base. Some believe he stumbled upon a deep underground military base, or perhaps something even more alien. Tales of the tall whites and secret government projects have long haunted these arid, sun-scorched plains. Despite his experience, Kenny's refusal to carry a compass suggests a dangerous level of self. We know for certain that he carried a gun with him on that final, fateful journey. A weapon might protect against predators, but it offers no defense against the desert's shifting horizons. Why would a veteran explorer leave his most fundamental survival tools behind in his vehicle? In the Mojave, a single wrong turn can transform a simple hike into a desperate struggle. The silence surrounding the M cave remains as deafening as the infrasound many claim to have felt. Skeptics argue that the desert simply claimed a man who finally pushed his luck too far. Nature doesn't care about your past triumphs or your status as a legendary high desert titan. Without a map, the labyrinthine canyons of the Mojave become a beautiful but deadly trap. His reliance on memory alone stands in stark contrast to his reputation as a meticulous hiker. Perhaps the mystery isn't what he found, but what he chose to ignore before setting out. Even if he sought the M cave, heat and dehydration are more efficient killers than conspiracies. The desert floor is littered with the remains of those who underestimated its unforgiving, brutal power. Legends of Lemmy Kilmister and mysterious sightings often blur the line between desert fact and fiction. Did the landscape provide a final rest, or did something else lead him astray? But if he didn't die by accident, perhaps he didn't die in the desert at all. Despite the whispers of a planned disappearance, we must first confront the unforgiving reality of the land. Many believe only the reckless perish here, yet the Mojave often claims even the most prepared souls. With a rugged look reminiscent of Lemmy Kilmister, Kenny Veach was an avid and highly experienced hiker. For many years, Kenny dedicated his life to exploring the rugged Mojave and Great Basin deserts. This vast expanse of the Great Basin has a haunting history of swallowing people completely without trace. It is a land of extremes, where the Mojave stands as the hottest place in North America. Beyond the blistering heat, it remains the driest region found anywhere on the entire North American continent. This high desert titan does not care about your experience or the years you have spent wandering. Kenny's story fits into a chilling trend of seasoned explorers vanishing within the silent Great Basin area. Why would a man who knew these trails so intimately suddenly vanish without leaving a single trace? Even those who respect the desert often find themselves underestimating its sudden and lethal shifts in temperament. Years of successful treks can breed a dangerous sense of familiarity with such a hostile, ancient landscape. Near Nellis Air Force Base, the landscape hides more than just rumored deep underground military bases. The sheer scale of this desert makes it easy for even a master hiker to lose perspective. Perhaps infrasound or unseen dangers disoriented him, leading him far away from his intended desert path. Kenny's obsession with the M-Cave makes his disappearance feel less like a mistake and more like something darker. While the tall whites and military secrets haunt local legends, the desert itself remains the primary killer. People have been disappearing in these vast stretches of sand and scrub since recorded history first began. The desert remains a silent graveyard for many who thought they had mastered its every hidden secret. When an expert like Kenny Veach goes missing, the stakes of the entire mystery rise significantly higher. To understand what happened to Kenny, we must acknowledge that the desert almost always wins in the end. Did Kenny Veach find a way out of his life instead of a hidden desert cave? Sometimes the biggest mysteries aren't found in the mountains, but within a man's bank account. While the world searched for monsters, investigators began to look closer at Kenny's personal history. About a year before his disappearance, Kenny made a drastic change to his long-term career path. He chose to walk away from a stable job he had held for 17 long years. Leaving that security behind, Kenny decided to gamble everything on a new and independent venture. He invested his time and resources into starting a business that he hoped would thrive. However, before his final hike, this new business was reportedly failing and under immense strain. The crushing weight of financial ruin can feel far more suffocating than any cave wall. Could a failing business be a more powerful motivator for vanishing than a vibrating cavern? He wasn't just running toward the empty. He might have been running away from his debt. Some observers suggest the Mojave Desert offered a perfect stage for a carefully planned disappearance. Perhaps the talk of infrasound was merely a shield to hide a very human struggle. The pressure of total failure often forces people to seek the most extreme escape routes. Is it truly easier to disappear into the vast wilderness than to face financial collapse? While internet theorists whispered about tall whites, reality might have been much more grounded. Even near Nellis Air Force Base, the most dangerous secrets often involve personal life, not military. To some, the MK was just a convenient myth to mask a tragic personal exit. The idea of a deep underground military base feels far away when death is knocking, like a song by Lemmy Kilmister. Kenny's life was lived on the edge of the abyss. Perhaps he hoped to vanish like a ghost, leaving only a legend behind in the sand. But these grounded theories only make the remaining pieces of the puzzle feel even stranger. If it wasn't money or an accident, then we have to talk about the elephant in the desert. Beyond the sand and scrub lies a landscape dominated by the most secretive organizations on the planet. Kenny Veach was trekking dangerously close to the sprawling boundaries of Nellis Air Force Base. This vast military territory is not just a training ground. It is a center of global intrigue. Nearby, Creech Air Force Base stands as another silent sentinel watching over the barren Nevada wilderness. In the world of conspiracy theories, this specific proximity to military power changes everything. We cannot ignore that Nevada is also home to the infamous Area 51 facility at Groom Lake. These bases are known for testing advanced technology far away from any prying civilian eyes. What if the M-Cave wasn't just a geological oddity, but a hidden gateway to something else? Some believe Kenny stumbled upon the entrance to a DOMB, or a deep underground military base. These massive subterranean complexes are rumored to stretch 4 miles beneath the parched desert floor, hidden deep within the rock. These bases serve purposes that the public is never meant to know. If the M-Cave was a front door, it might explain the overwhelming sense of dread Kenny felt. Imagine a top-secret facility lurking like a massive, hidden iceberg beneath the shifting Nevada sands. The desert is perfect for hiding secrets, especially those that require thousands of feet of solid stone. Military installations in this region are often linked to experiments involving frequencies and high-tech surveillance. Is it possible that the M-Cave was actually a ventilation shaft, or a secondary emergency exit? This theory suggests that Kenny wasn't just lost. He was perhaps trespassing on something highly classified. Many internet sleuths argue that the military would go to any length to protect these hidden assets. The proximity to Nellis makes the idea of a secret entrance feel much more like a reality. If a dome exists there, it would surely be protected by more than just a mountain. Every rock and crevice in the Mojave could be part of a larger, man-made architecture. As Kenny approached the strange opening, he reported a sensation that defied all logical explanation. He didn't just see the mystery. He claimed he could actually feel it vibrating through his body. But what would cause a human body to vibrate with such intense and terrifying force? To unswear that, we must look toward the jagged peaks of the forbidding Sheep Mountain Range. This desolate landscape borders some of the most secretive military installations on the entire planet. Here, the vast Mojave Desert hides more than just sand and sun-bleached bones from wandering eyes. Kenny Veach was trekking dangerously close to the restricted boundaries of the massive Nellis Air Force Base. This installation serves as a sprawling hub for aerial combat training and classified government operations. Nearby, Crete's Air Force Base acts as a silent sentinel over the shimmering heat of the desert. These bases form a massive complex where public access is strictly forbidden under threat of force. Just beyond these jagged ridges lies the infamous Area 51 facility situated at secluded Groom Lake. For decades, conspiracy theorists have whispered about what truly happens beneath these dry, ancient lake beds. Some believe the vibration Kenny felt was a byproduct of a deep underground military base. These rumored installations, often called DUMBs, are said to house technology far beyond our current understanding. The proximity of the M-Cave to such high-security zones makes every strange encounter feel intentional. Locals have long told stories of the Tall Whites, mysterious beings allegedly inhabiting these very mountains. These legends suggest a hidden world existing right beneath the feet of unsuspecting desert hikers. Could the M-Cave be an entrance to a facility that the government desperately wants to hide? If Kenny stumbled upon a classified entrance, his disappearance takes on a much darker, calculated tone. High-frequency equipment or infrasound from these bases could easily explain the terrifying physical sensations he described. Infrasound is known to cause intense feelings of dread and even violent physical vibrations in humans. The Sheep Mountains provide the perfect natural barrier for testing top-secret projects away from prying eyes. Even rock legends like Lemmy Kilmister were drawn to the enigmatic energy of this peculiar desert landscape. Every step Kenny took toward the M-Cave was a step deeper into a web of military secrets. The sheer size of these restricted zones makes it easy for someone to vanish without a trace. Bordering such high-stakes territory means every mistake is magnified by the shadow of the state. To understand Kenny's fate, we must acknowledge the invisible lines he may have inadvertently crossed. The silence of the Mojave is often broken by the low hum of secrets buried deep underground. Before we look to aliens, let's explore the simple physics of sound within the desert's silence. There is a scientific explanation for the intense fear Kenny felt near the mysterious it is often called the ghost frequency, a phenomenon that triggers an instinctive sense of dread. In the scientific world, this invisible force is formally known as infrasound, or low-frequency waves. Infrasound refers to ultra-low frequency sound waves that exist just below the human hearing threshold. Even if you cannot hear them, your body can feel their crushing weight against your skin. Can a sound you can't even hear make you feel like you are actually dying? Kenny Veach described a vibration so powerful it seemed to shake his very soul to pieces. Infrasound is like a silent alarm that rings directly into your sensitive human nervous system. It can cause blurred vision, dizziness, and an overwhelming desire to flee from the immediate area. Was the M-Cave just a natural resonator, amplifying these deep, subterranean vibrations of the Mojave? The jagged rock formations might have acted like a massive pipe organ for the desert wind. As air rushes through certain cave shapes, it creates standing waves that hum with hidden power. These vibrations would explain the physical illness Kenny experienced every time he approached the entrance. However, the source of such intense energy might not be entirely natural or accidental at all. We must consider the proximity of Nellis Air Force Base and its secretive underground operations. Could a deep underground military base be generating these massive and unsettling low-frequency sound waves? Heavy machinery or experimental aircraft testing often produces significant infrasound as a byproduct of power. The desert floor could be carrying these signals for miles, funneling them into the rocky canyons. For an explorer like Kenny, stumbling into a concentrated beam of sound would be terrifying. It creates a fear frequency that tricks the brain into seeing ghosts or sensing monsters. Scientists have proven that these waves can actually vibrate the human eye, causing visual hallucinations. This could account for the strange shadows and movements Kenny reported seeing in the dark. While science offers a grounded perspective, it cannot explain every mystery hidden in the sand. Some believe the source of the vibration is far more sentient and far more ancient. But science can't explain everything, especially when it comes to the legend of the Tall Whites. Beyond legends of Tall Whites, We must examine the physical sensation Kenny experienced near the MK. Kenny Veach claimed his entire body began to vibrate violently as he approached the hidden opening. This leads us to the study of infrasound, which are ultra-low frequency sound waves. In the silence of the Mojave Desert, these natural frequencies can create intense physical reactions. Some believe the cave acted as a natural resonator, trapping and amplifying these low-frequency pulses. These waves often trigger a primal fear response, making a person feel they are being watched. However, others suspect the proximity of Nellis Air Force Base points to a different source. The theory of a deep underground military base suggests heavy machinery operating far beneath the earth. These massive industrial vibrations could easily travel through the bedrock. To reach a lone explorer, was Kenny feeling the natural heartbeat of the earth, or the pulse of a secret facility? Industrial equipment in ad numba would produce a consistent, mechanical vibration quite unlike natural wind. The cave might have been a vent for these powerful, subterranean machines humming in the dark. If the government is hiding something, the vibrations could be an accidental byproduct of their work. Kenny's experience sits right at the edge of natural science and deep state conspiracy theories. We must decide if his fear was born of the wind or of something man-made. The Mojave Desert hides its secrets well, whether they are geological wonders or military projects. While infrasound is a documented phenomenon, the intensity Kenny described remains an alarming outlier. His account of the cave continues to spark intense debate between skeptics and true believers. Was the vibrating cave a portal to a secret world, or just a trick of acoustics? The truth may lie somewhere between the desert's natural silence and its hidden mechanical screams. Every tremor recorded in the sand adds another layer to this enduring desert mystery. As we weigh these possibilities, the true nature of the cave remains a haunting enigma. If you follow the trail of Nevada's legends, you eventually encounter a specific, deeply unsettling name. Some say the vibrating cave wasn't a base for human operations at all. It sounds like science fiction, but for some, it is the only logic that fits. Deep beneath the Mojave Desert, whispers of secret facilities have circulated for decades among the locals. These rumored structures are often called deep underground military bases, or DMBs, by those watching. Are we sharing the Mojave with something else that prefers the dark, quiet earth? To understand the cave, we must look toward the massive expanse of Nellis Air Force Base. Within these restricted borders, an extraordinary account emerged from a former serviceman named Charles James Hull. Hull was an ex-airman who spent years observing the strange desert skies during his service. He eventually authored a book detailing his encounters with a unique and haunting extraterrestrial race. He referred to these beings as the Tall Whites, describing them as towering and porcelain-skinned entities. According to Hall, these Tall Whites have lived alongside our military and secret desert outposts. These beings allegedly utilize advanced technology that interacts with the very frequencies of the Earth itself. Why would an alien race choose a vibrating cave to hide their presence from us? Perhaps the infrasound Kenny experienced was a byproduct of propulsion systems beyond our current understanding. If the cave was an entrance to a tall white facility, the vibration makes terrifying sense. This fringe theory suggests Kenny Veach stumbled upon a secret that was never meant for human eyes. Some believers argue the Sheep Mountain Range hides more than just classified government surveillance equipment. They claim the mountain itself serves as a biological shield for these visiting stellar travelers. It is a chilling thought that Kenny might have been standing on a literal alien doorstep. While these claims seem outlandish, they provide an answer for the physical dread Kenny once felt. The Mojave Desert has always been a canvas for the strange and the unexplained to flourish, but even in a land of ghosts, the story of the Tall Whites remains particularly haunting. However, the most disturbing evidence wasn't found in a cave or a high-tech cockpit. It was found in the quiet, lonely rooms of Kenny's own home, waiting to be discovered. Forget the aliens and the secret bases, because the real tragedy was written on Kenny's own walls. We must now look at the evidence search teams found, not in the desert, but at home. While the world looked for monsters in the Mojave, investigators uncovered a different kind of darkness indoors. Inside the quiet rooms where Kenny lived, the physical remnants of a private struggle began to emerge. To understand where Kenny truly went, we have to look back at the scars he carried for years. When Kenny was only in his early 20s, his life was shattered by his father's sudden suicide. This foundational trauma likely cast a long, silent shadow over everything the young explorer did afterwards. Growing up in the wake of such a loss can leave wounds that never truly heal. The desert-esque silence might have been a mirror for a different kind of silence within his soul. Investigators searching his computer discovered that Kenny had been researching several articles about the act of suicide. These digital breadcrumbs were like a map to a place he had tragically visited before. How do you fight a battle that is happening entirely within the confines of your own mind? The search history suggests that the M cave might have been more of a pretext than a destination. Every click and every read pointed toward a man contemplating a final, permanent escape from reality. Most chillingly, the authorities found the desperate words "help me" written several times around his residence. These silent pleas for rescue were etched into the very environment where he should have felt safe. It is a haunting image of a man drowning in plain sight while the internet watched. The "help me" notes transformed the M cave mystery into something much more grounded and heartbreaking. On that final morning in November, Kenny made a deliberate choice to leave his video camera behind. For a man who documented everything, leaving his primary tool of observation was a significant departure. He clearly did not want the world to see where he was going or what he was doing. By abandoning his gear, he was signaling that this journey was not meant for an audience. He left his camera, and he left his life, taking only his gun into the vast wilderness. The Mojave Desert didn't swallow him. It may have simply provided the canvas for his final exit. This evidence reframes the entire search from a paranormal quest into a deeply personal tragedy. The mystery remains, but the focus shifts from secret bases to the heavy burden of legacy. Even with the evidence, the Mojave Desert keeps its deepest secrets buried beneath the shifting sands. Kenny Veach is still out there, somewhere. And so is the elusive, vibrating M. The story began when he found a cave with properties that defied every known law of physics. In November 2014, Kenny stepped into the vast silence of the desert and never returned home again. His disappearance triggered a digital firestorm that transformed a simple hiker into an enduring internet legend. By December 10, 2014, his girlfriend's YouTube comment confirmed the grim reality of his missing status. Since then, the case has become a puzzle with one vital piece missing, and that piece is Kenny. We are left to wonder if the truth lies within a secret base or his own mind. Some believe the M cave was an entrance to a deep underground military base hidden from public eyes. Others whisper about the tall whites, those spectral figures said to haunt the edges of Nellis Air Force Base. Was it the infrasound that drove him to despair, or something far more grounded in human tragedy? Even the presence of Lemmy Kilmister's music could once drown out the heavy silence of the Nevada wild. Perhaps the desert itself is a titan that simply consumes those who grow too bold in their curiosity. To this day, hikers still scour the jagged peaks, hoping to find the cave that started it all. Every footprint in the Mojave could lead to an answer, or simply vanish in the next windstorm. The mystery of Kenny Veach remains a haunting reminder of the world's many unexplored and dangerous corners. Will the M cave ever be found? Or has the desert reclaimed its secrets for all of eternity? Is Kenny finally at peace in the sun-drenched canyons he loved more than the world of men? We search for monsters and aliens, yet we often overlook the complex struggle within the human soul. The story of Kenny Veach reminds us that the world is still full of places we do want to understand. Now, the long shadows of the Mojave have stretched, and the investigation belongs to you. Do you believe the desert claimed Kenny? Or did he finally find what he was seeking? We have traced his steps from the vibrating M cave to the gates of Nellis Air Force Base. Every theory we have examined adds another layer of dust to this cold desert mystery. Could the vibrating hum of infrasound have truly driven a seasoned hiker into the dark abyss? Or was the truth buried deeper, perhaps within a deep underground military base near the range? Some believe the legend of the Tall Whites is the only key to his strange disappearance. The man known online as Lemmy Kilmister walked into the silence, leaving only haunting questions behind. Every comment you leave acts as another pair of eyes on this chilling, unresolved case. Share your own theories below and tell us what you think happened in that desert. Have you ever encountered something in the wild that defied every logical explanation you had? The Mojave Desert remains a vast graveyard of secrets that refuses to give up its dead. Whether his end was a tragic accident or a planned exit, the M cave mystery endures. We may never know if Kenny found ultimate peace or something far more sinister. If you are drawn to the shadows and stories that stay hidden, join our growing community. Click the subscribe button to ensure you never miss our next journey into the unknown. Your support allows us to keep digging where others are often afraid to look. Keep your eyes on the horizon and stay curious about the world's many hidden corners. The world is still full of places we don't understand, waiting for someone to notice. Thank you for watching, and may you find the answers you are searching for today. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you are the first to hear our stories. Until our paths cross again, remember that some secrets are meant to be found by you.